Wraith is the newest monster. She is a sleek assassin, deadly as can be, and has some pretty cool abilities that she uses to really lose the hunters and bring the fight to them on her terms. She has a decoy ability, which where she turns invisible. And then sends a decoy in whatever direction she's looking. So a tip for that is we talk about on the stream and when we talk about the game a lot of the time, one of the more advanced moves that monster players will do is that while they're moving along, they'll do sort of a look back towards the hunters and use the smell ability. So doing that all in a fluid motion is something that people have been playing Monster for a while sort of get down, and they just do it naturally. It's also something that you start to do when you use the decoy ability. You can turn around because they're normally behind you. Turn around, face the hunters, throw the decoy at them, and then you can be on your way to go farm or whatever you need to do. Wraith does have a smaller health pool and armor pool than the two previous monsters, so it's very important that you do pay attention to that and make sure that she has armor at all times. Otherwise the health can drop pretty quickly. What you can do to minimize the time that it takes you to do that feeding process to evolve and gain armor is you can actually send your decoy out at wildlife, and the decoy will kill the wildlife while you go do whatever you need to do, and then you can come along and that wildlife will already be dead, and then you can eat that wildlife up. Wraith also has an amazing ability called Abduction. The Abduction ability allows you to literally go in, fly into the group of hunters, and pull one of them out to an area that's maybe too far away from the rest of the hunters to react quickly enough to get to and save their teammate. You can also abduct downed hunters. So if you see one of the hunters trying to res an incapacitated hunter, you can go in and literally snatch that body away from them, which is also really cool. Supernova ability is sort of a shroud of like space dust that the Wraith is able to work in and do an increased attack speed with the melee ability on anything that's in that area. If the Wraith goes out of that area, she won't have that increased ability. But what you can do is you can team that Supernova up with an Abduction. So you can pop the Supernova and then go and abduct a hunter that might be out of that area and bring them back in there, and then do that really fast attack speed on the hunter. And then finally, Wraith has a Warp Blast, which allows her to literally warp into the pack of hunters and do a big explosive damage on them. So a very sneaky monster that has the potential of doing really high damage, but one that you can literally get to stage 3 without the hunters ever really fighting you, using that decoy and using that Warp Blast to navigate yourself around the map. One thing that a lot of Wraith players try to do, and this is a tip for the monster but also a tip for the hunters as well, if you're playing the Wraith, is that the Wraith is able to get the Trapper to potentially use that mobile arena on the decoy and then be out of there and not trapped in the mobile arena. So if you're playing as a Trapper against the Wraith, make sure that you've identified that it is the Wraith before you drop that mobile arena. Otherwise you're going to be on a long cooldown before you're able to trap her again. Also, the decoy of the Wraith will take on the abilities of the Wraith. So you can use Supernova and then send that Wraith out, or that decoy out of the Wraith, and it will have that Supernova ability. And the decoy actually does do damage. As I mentioned before, you can use it on wildlife. You can also use that decoy to help do damage on the hunters while you just sit back and watch them bleed.